Hey guys, so if you've been on YouTube, then you know that Lightyear has been bombing badly. Not did it do terrible the first weekend, but it's done even worse the second weekend, dropping 74% in its box office returns. That is terrible. Now, you guys know that I didn't like the film when I saw it. So since the internet is talking about Pixar, because Lightyear is obviously Pixar, I thought I might talk about a film that, actually three films that are vastly underrated and that get way too much hate. Now, I totally think that the hate for Lightyear is completely justified in my reasons that I pointed out in the video. If you want to go check out the video that I made on Lightyear, I actually made 3 in total. The review, my thoughts on Lightyear, and that small error that I made in the Lightyear video. Go check out that trilogy videos. So anyways, guys, you don't have to like these movies. These are just Pixar films that I personally find underrated and get way too much hate. Opinions are subjective, so if you don't like these movies, that's totally fine. But if you do like them, that means that you know quality and you know your Pixar movies. Just kidding. So anyways, guys, let's begin the countdown, starting with number 3, Cars 3. Now, I wouldn't say that this is hated, but it's definitely gotten the shaft among Pixar movies. I actually really like this movie. It tells a very inspiring story about Lightning never giving up on his dream, and he wants to keep racing. He wants to keep doing what he loves, and that message is very inspirational for people that are being pushed out of something that they love doing just because of their age. And also, he gets to train a rookie. He gets to make somebody else's dream come true. I like that. Do I even have to talk about the animation? The animation is the best that the Cars movies have ever gotten. People cannot deny that the animation is simply something to look at. I mean, it's Pixar. They haven't made a really terrible animated movie. I mean, the thing that comes close to terrible in their leagues is maybe the first Toy Story, but even that doesn't look that bad compared to the first Ice Age and Open Season. But anyways, guys, Cars 3, it may not be Pixar's best, but I definitely think it's very enjoyable. The jokes are funny, and the storytelling is a lot more competent than in Cars 2. I will say this, I don't hate Cars 2, but I don't love it either. That's why it hasn't made the list, and that would probably be one of the most controversial picks, but I wouldn't care. Opinions are opinions. So the reason why Cars 3 is the highest on the list is because, again, like I said, this doesn't receive a lot of hate. There are fans of Cars 3 out there. They put this at least on par with the first Cars, or they call it the best in the trilogy. But I definitely do think that Cars 3 deserves to be a lot more liked than it is. Number 2 is Finding Dory. Now, this one's on the more divisive side. There are people that absolutely despise this movie, but there are people that absolutely love this movie. I find myself among the latter. I absolutely adore this movie. This is, to me, one of the best Pixar sequels. This is, to me, on par with the Toy Story sequels, and we're going to get to that in a second. It's definitely got its flaws. It does repeat some things of the first one. It's not as repetitive as Incredibles 2. This one at least tries to stand on its own fins, and it is a little different from Finding Nemo, but that's okay. I definitely love a film that is emotional, but isn't afraid to just be a fun romp for families. Do I even need to talk about the animation style? Because wow, if you thought the first film was visually stunning, this dials it up to 1,000. This, it not only is one of Pixar's most beautiful looking films, but it looks very realistic to how aquatic life is. I am a big fan of aquariums and the sea. I just find the sea to be a relaxing place, and they just nail the look of the fish in this movie. They look exactly like their real life counterparts. They really know how to capture realism in nature. I'm honestly going to have to do an entire video talking about why Finding Dory is an underrated gem. Because this video just isn't enough to really talk about what makes this movie so great. The one thing I didn't really think that this movie needed and was kind of out of place was that what a wonderful world scene in Finding Dory in the climax when they drive the truck in the ocean. I think that was kind of like just not needed, didn't quite work. But other than that, Finding Dory is a truly excellent Pixar film. It is very underrated in the pantheon of Pixar films. It deserves to be talked about more, and it's just a film that I enjoy every time I watch it. Mostly because of the visuals, but I think that the story in it is also just as great. Alright, so the number one most underrated Pixar movie is Toy Story 4. Now, when it came out, it received boatloads of praise, saying that it was like the best Toy Story movie. There are people that disagreed, and they pointed out the flaws. But nowadays, people just hate it. Like, they call it the worst of the Toy Story movies, and they just completely talk about how this movie screwed up the franchise and how it defiles everything the other Toy Story movies set up. But those people miss the point. If you really want a Toy Story movie to hate on, again, Lightyear, like, that screwed up way more than this movie. At least, you know, the characters are still likable. The ones that didn't get enough screen time, they're still likable the time that they're on. I think that this movie, it truly stands out because it kind of deconstructs the core of Toy Story, and it gives, like, Woody a lot more individuality. Like, these toys have feelings, and Woody is definitely a toy with feelings. Like, he has feelings of attachment, and like, this movie has a message that a lot of people can resonate with. There are times where people just feel like they've gotten too old and useless, and that their purpose has been fulfilled, and that there's nowhere for them to go. And I felt that at the time. Like, I felt like there was nothing for me in this life anymore, but that movie, like, proved me wrong. Like, that was a movie that I really needed in that time. It really helped me get through depression. This, like, Woody's entire arc is to learn to let go of the old ways and to, like, embrace the new, and to accept his new purpose to help toys find kids. He's no longer, like, restricted to an owner. Now he can, like, help toys find owners, but he can, like, you know, basically do whatever he wants. He's his own person now, and I love that in a movie. I love when a movie taps on those kinds of things. The animation, by far, is the best in the Toy Story movies. I would honestly say that it looks better than Lightyear, even though it came out this year. The reason why is just because the animation in Toy Story is just a lot more energetic and colorful to me than in Lightyear, since Lightyear is mostly dull and grayish looking. It's just, the Toy Story movies have always maintained a sense of color and energy, and this film captures it the most. With that being said, with all the amount of praise that I'm giving Toy Story 4, I don't think it's as good as 2 or 3, but it's still at least a little better than the first one, in my opinion, or on par. Either way, Toy Story 4 is a worthy addition to the franchise and a perfect conclusion. Pixar, please do not make a Toy Story 5. This is the perfect conclusion for this franchise. And I am very glad that I paid the ticket price to go see it. And it is definitely, in my opinion, the most underrated Pixar movie of them all. This should be getting the amount of praise that a lot of the other Pixar sequels get, especially the Toy Story sequels, because this isn't as good as 3 or 2, but it is at least damn close. And to my knowledge, like, Toy Story is the only franchise that has movies that, while they not all of them get better, they at least stay close to the quality. And let me tell you guys, in the theater, I was emotional, just like I was at the ending of Toy Story 3 when Andy gave away his toys. Not as emotional, but pretty emotional. And it still gets me to this day. The villain is great. Her motives make sense. Just overall, this is a truly fantastic Pixar masterpiece, and I definitely recommend you check it out. So anyways, guys, what do you think of my ranking? Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? I might have to do another ranking, maybe of the Pixar originals, because I think there are a few underrated Pixar originals. Who knows? Let's see how this video does. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.